Hey guys, happy Saturday, happy spooky Saturday, as now we have a few weeks until Halloween. So, wow, I'm looking very pale. I'm actually not this pale. I actually have a nice tan, but I think with all the dark colors, it's kind of washing me out. Anywho, I hope everybody is having a lovely Saturday, and no matter where you are, perhaps it's the evening, perhaps it's the late morning like it is here, or maybe you're in Hawaii and it's a lot earlier. But anyway, I have brought my tea for today. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter chat because this is the last weekend of the opera that I'm in, Romeo and Juliet, Becel Scuno, and that is up in Escondido. So tonight's performance is the 7 o'clock performance, and then tomorrow, our very last one, the matinee performance at 3, and then afterwards we have our little cast party up in Vista. Liesend! Hello, Liesendunti! How are you? So yes, then after this weekend, things are somewhat back to normal where it's just, me and my teaching that I do, my spiritual business, getting out orders from my Etsy shop and my store and everything. And Sherry Bug's here, hey! And then Callie Brewster, hello, hello. So yeah, I thought I would, spook things up a little bit, with this month of October. So let me show you my shirt that I brought for you guys. And Lori, hey Lori. Oh, all the homies are here. So I have Don't Be a Basic Witch. I thought that would be fun. I already have okay, so I keep my seasonal t-shirts for holidays kind of underneath the bed, and so I've pulled out all of my Halloween gear so I can wear all of my Halloween t-shirts now. Lisa Dunti says, I am fine, thank you, and I keep my fingers crossed for your opera today. Me too. I'm like, I hope that we have a great final Saturday performance, and then tomorrow with our final Sunday performance. So I'm super excited. The music keeps playing in my head all week long. I guess when you've practiced over and over and over again, the whole opera just kind of plays in your mind. Okay, Sharebug's like, that's so funny. So yeah, like I said, just a little bit of a shorter chat, so maybe an hour or so, because I want to do what what some of the singers do. They go on vocal rest, so I know that I do need to be on a bit of a vocal rest. I know it didn't help with our last week where we had a Friday performance, and I teach, so I talk all day, so it was putting my voice to the test, and my friend who used to be my vocal teacher, she always says that I have vocal cords of steel, which is true, but I don't like to test that steel, I like to keep things, so that they're just calm and ready to sing and do those soprano notes. So anywho, I had a good time posting a video yesterday about a spooky story. You guys know I love story time, whether it's a spooky story or a story where we're just laughing at me. And just being glad that certain mishaps and all of that haven't happened to you. You can laugh at me. So I thought it, in the spirit of the Halloween season, at Samhain, Dia de los Muertos, in the spirit of spirit, that telling a spooky story yesterday would be fun. And so I posted that, and everybody seemed to really like it. So I thought, well, maybe for the rest of October, maybe my Friday videos would be, a spooky story to share. Just a little 10-minute story, nothing too long. But I have so many stories, and I know that I've shared some here. So I was wondering, would you guys, I know I'm not going to be on very long today, and I do want to, of course, pull some cards, but would you guys want some spooky stories? These are true stories. I'm not making stories up, because I don't have to make up stories when reality is just as creepy. Sherry Bug's like, that would be awesome. Okay, so let me have some more tea. Actually, let me move my little selenite so I don't have to keep twisting around, but I like to keep my tea on this like selenite slab. And Ruchi, hello, hello, Naskaram. Okay. I'm like, ooh, what spooky story do I tell you? Hmm. Let's do, let's do the candle story. Like we have some battery operated candles in this house. Wow, I look really pale in this. I think because my altar cloth is black that I just like look really pale. I'm like not that pale. I like being brown. um, okay. So, although I probably do need to see the sun a little bit more. I work underground, people. And Cosmic Jones, what's up, girl? Okay. So, we call this the candle story, or I call this the candle story. We have these votive candles that we got at Costco. They're battery operated. I think you just put like 2 AA batteries. Sorry about eyelash, because I have shark's teeth eyelashes. And we have some on the mantle downstairs, you know, above the fireplace. We have some that are on our dining table. And then we have 3 that are in our master bedroom. So 1 on the dude's nightstand, 1 on my nightstand, and then we have 1 on the dresser. And at some point, this was in, I want to say 2014, maybe 2014, 2015. So this is just, you know, a few years ago. And it was kind of right after we got the house, because we've been living here just about 6 years now, roughly ish. Like 5.5 years, almost 6. And we had already done like the huge cleansing in our house. We had 2 people come over, and as a housewarming gift they did like a house clearing, which those are their own stories. Those were interesting. You know, the energy in here, we had to fix up the energy in here. It wasn't bad, it just needed to be redirected so that it's as high vibe as it is now. You know, I like to keep things pretty unicorn fartsy and rainbow and hearts here, you know. So at some point, and I don't even know when it was, I know that it was in winter time. I remember going upstairs one day and noticing that the candles in the master bedroom had been turned on. Okay, so these are not light sensitive candles. You physically either have to turn the candle upside down and turn the on off switch, or there is a remote control where you can do the on off. The remote control was on the dresser. So I remember going upstairs one day and being like, all 3 candles are on. Yes, Cosmic Jones. And I was like, well, that's interesting. So I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I thought it was a little odd. So I asked the dude, did you turn the candles on upstairs? He's like, no. And I was like, well, the candles are on. He's like, well, I don't know, maybe they're malfunctioning. Maybe they're light sensitive or something like that. So we checked out the candles and we checked out the packaging. We still had the packaging because they were fairly new candles. And no, they're not meant to be like, they don't have timers. They're not light sensitive. Like they're just your basic on off candle. So we're like, okay. Next night happens, and I had noticed the time when I noticed that the candles were on. It was just before 5:30 p.m. Sorry, have another eyelash. And hold on, I have eyelash. Oh my gosh, my eyelashes. It's really dry outside, so I have like eye issues right now. We have the Santa Anas. I don't know if you guys get Santa Anas. The Santa Ana winds are really dry, really dry, like bone dry winds that we have right now. And so everything's just dry and hot. Lady Night, hey! So sorry, I'm like all digging in my eyeball. That's why I'm like, I don't want you guys to see me digging in my eye. So anyway, next night happens. And Yvonne, hello. Hey, no worries. I came on like 5 minutes ago, so you're totally on time. Next night, just before 5:30, this time I noticed the time. It was like 5:27-ish. The lights are, the candles are on upstairs again. I was like, okay, now that's weird. So then I told the dude, I was like, are you sure these things aren't on a timer? Because otherwise that's really weird. So maybe there's like a malfunction with these candles and they have like a timer that's in there that shouldn't be in there. Like, I don't know. So like we checked the packaging again, and the candles downstairs aren't turning on though. I mean, unless we physically turn them on with the remote control, or, you know, turning them on the bottom. So that's interesting. Third night happens. Candles are on upstairs at around 5:27 p.m. because now I'm racing up there to see if the candles are on right about that time, just before 5:30 p.m. And so I'm like, okay, things are getting funky. You know, so this went on for about 5 days. The candles kept coming on at almost the exact same time every day, just before 5:30 p.m. And I was like, this is freaking weird. So the dude, time to return some candles, I know, right? So the dude likes to be scientific about things. You know, he's not the one to jump to, it's probably supernatural, paranormal, where I'm like, oh my God, it's probably paranormal. Where the dude's like, no, there's probably a very sane and logical explanation for what's going on. Like, that's my dude. Cosmic said all of them were separate in different places and all came on at the same time. Yes, so one on each nightstand, one on the dresser in the master bedroom. So the dude's like, we know that they come on at about 5:27 p.m. So it could be maybe Presley. This is our old cats. This is before we had Wally and before we had Loki. So this was, yeah, so this had to be around winter time because our cat got sick later in winter, and that's, you know. Yeah, so this is when Presley was still healthy, everything was still great. And we thought, since the remote was on the dresser, maybe the cat is stepping on the remote and accidentally turning on all the candles, maybe? You know, I mean, like, we have to hypothesize. So we're like, okay, we're gonna be upstairs and we're gonna wait for the candles, okay? So the dude was on, we have like a beanbag chair, like a love sack or whatever in the corner of the master bedroom. And he was sitting on there. He had the cat. He had Presley. I was sitting on the bed, and I'm just like, whatever, flipping through my phone. And the dude has the remote control. He's like, okay, I got the remote control. I got the cat. Okay, let's see if these candles turn on. So I'm sitting there flipping through the phone, and out of the corner of my eye, I see one candle turn on the nightstand. And I was like this on my dude's nightstand. And I was like, Brian? And he's like, what? And I'm like, look at the candles. And after his candle turned on, the dresser turned on, and then going around the room, my candle turned on. So it's like something went around the room and turned them on in order. So it was his nightstand, the dresser, then my nightstand. And he's like looking down, he's holding the remote, he's got the cat, and he's like, well, that's interesting. But I'm still not convinced that it's paranormal. Let's continue our scientific experiment. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, and I was like, okay, I'll go along. Like maybe there's a rational explanation. Okay, so the dude's like, next test. So we wait until the next night. He grabs all 3 candles, takes them out of the room. He puts them downstairs and takes 3 new candles that we just bought and put them up in the bedroom, and then left the old candles downstairs mixed with the candles that we had already had before from Costco. So, you know, Costco. Hashtag Costco. So, okay, we have now 3 brand new candles of the same kind upstairs in the master bedroom. Okay, this time, you know, it's new night. We wait, it's 5:27. No candles have come on. Okay, and he's like, well, maybe we solved the problem. Maybe it's, I don't know, electrical surge. And I was like, they're not plugged in, they're battery operated. He's like, I don't know. He goes, maybe it's, I don't know. He goes, I don't know, just maybe something, I don't know. He's like, maybe it's like hotter upstairs and maybe it like makes them malfunction. I don't know. And we go downstairs and the candles that were upstairs haven't turned downstairs. So we're like, okay, whatever. So we decided to go to dinner that night, go out to dinner. We went out to dinner. We come back. All of the candles that were downstairs, not just the ones we brought down from the bedroom, but all of them all of the candles are on downstairs. We go upstairs. All of the candles are on as well, except for the one on my boyfriend's nightstand. Then that's when we were like, okay, there might be something going on. And I was like, don't you think that's a message to you to stop effing with them? You know, they know that you're messing with them. Like, you don't believe that it's like actual spirit. And the dude's like, why did they not turn on my candle? They left my candle off. And I was like, because you're messing with them, like you and your scientific experiments. Like, so yes, the whole house was alit in candles except for my dude's candle, which they didn't light on purpose, probably because they were like, don't believe in us. So I was like, okay, that's weird. I'm pretty sure we got stuff going on in this house. Not that I didn't already know that we had stuff going on in this house, obviously, because we had a lot of other things happening. So this wasn't like the only odd occurrence going on in this home. Like, there was a lot of other odd occurrences. And this was back when we first got the house. So like I said, we have since tamed the energy of the house and redirected it so it's not as weird anymore. Lady Knight said, gotta love their sense of humor. I know, right? I was like, so, okay. So then, the next night, it's like random candles going on in the house. And so I decided, I was pretty sure that spirit was at work and I was going to have a chat with them, because it was right about this time that, I mean, I was already no longer really afraid of spirit, but I had become like a little bit more, I don't know, brave, I guess you could say, or I was getting better at working with spirit energy, you know, around this time. So I decided I was just going to have a chat with them. And I never really sat down and just had a chat. Like, most of my spirit connection had always been in my dreams or just mostly like feelings, you know, things like that. So I decide that it's best to, I don't know why I decided to keep the lights off in the bedroom. I don't know. But I had gone up there, and this was another night. I turned off all the candles and I just kind of sat on the edge of the bed and I had a conversation as if I was having a conversation with, I don't know, it kind of felt like younger energy. This is, yes, of course you are brave. And so, I don't know, I just felt like there was more than one thing there. I felt like there was multiple things, but the energy felt benevolent. I didn't feel threatened at all or scary, you know, otherwise I probably wouldn't have felt comfortable sitting in a dark room talking to thin air. So, you know, so I sat there and I was just like, okay, so I know you guys are in my house and you're probably like, this is our house, or like, this is our land. Or I said, actually, I don't know how you see things. Maybe you see me as a ghost and maybe you think that you're totally alive right now. Like, I have no idea. I was like, I don't know what it's like on your side. And I said, I acknowledge you. I appreciate you guys turning on the candles. Maybe you really like them because they have a nice glow. I think they're really pretty. That's why I bought them at Costco. I'm like, Costco is a store, you know? And I said, and I brought them home. And I said, but you guys don't need to turn on the candles anymore. I do appreciate that you're trying to get my attention. You have my attention. And I was like, and I'm wondering, do you even know what year it is? Like, I was like, cause I don't know. Like, I don't know if these people, like, if they think I'm a ghost, you know, and they see me, you know, have you ever seen the movie The Others, you know? So I'm like, do they think I'm the ghost, or, you know, or maybe they just see things differently, you know, coming onto this plane. So I was like, so I said, maybe you don't, maybe you're a little lost and you're a little scared right now. In which case, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not, you know, I'm not here to threaten you. I'm not scared of you. You know, you seem totally fine to me. I was like, but I said, let me start updating you on where you're at right now. I was like, you're living in Spring Valley, California. You know, this is my house. I just bought it, you know, just a little bit ago. And, you know, you're more than welcome to pass through this house. But the year is, well, at the time, I'm like, the year is 2014. And maybe you don't know it's 2014. It's December 2014. This is, yes, The Others was such a cool take on the whole ghost topic, for sure. And so I was just like explaining, and I was like, this is our president right now. This is the country that I live in. I'm speaking English right now. This is the date, the time. I was just trying to give out like as many facts as I could to show like this is my dimension and like my timeline. And I thought maybe they got lost in like the ghost train took them and they took a wrong turn at Albuquerque or something like that, and like maybe they got dropped off and they thought that like this is their time, but it's not their time. I don't know why I was thinking all of that. I just thought that I should give them as many facts and time and like and tell them all the current events that were going on in 2014, to kind of bring them up to speed. And I said, and if you're cool with it, I was like, then just pass on by every now and then. Anna, I was like, you want to turn a candle on from time to time? I'm totally cool with it. My relatives, of course, are always welcome in my home. But I was like, yeah, I love this place. You probably love the energy. And I was like, and yeah, I appreciate you coming by. And guess what? The candles never came on again. After we had that conversation, or I had a one-sided conversation, like it never came on again. I mean, the candles have come on since like one candle at a time, but it was attributed to something. Like we knew who had turned on that candle, but as far as stuff just randomly turning on candles to get my attention, that has never happened again. So there you go. Sherry Bug was freaking laughing over there. Sometimes I think, okay, because we have it's been said by many a people, including myself, that we have a massive portal in the master bedroom closet, the master closet, and there's also a portal above our staircase, but it's a little bit smaller. And so there's a lot of stuff which my dude calls the interdimensional bus depot, like. And he's like, and sometimes people take a wrong turn and they're like, oh, hey, this is our home. Oh, wait, wrong year. Let's keep on going. This is, wow, spiritual counseling. Yes. And Callie's laughing. So, yes, so that was one of the stories. I mean, I guess the only other times the candles have really come on, maybe they've only come on maybe 2 or 3 times since 2014. The one other time one of the candles came on was in 2015 after my boyfriend's mother passed away. It was the day that she passed away. We knew that it was going to be soon. It was either going to be that day or she was going to go in the next couple of days. She was already in hospice. And like I just had a feeling that like her spirit was already coming to me, even though she like physically wasn't gone yet. So this was all like, I think it was like the big change in my spiritual understanding of spirit, of my spirit understanding of my, of basically what I do now and how I focus my attention and like what I do on my channel and like what I actually my channel was started not too long after that. So so this was like the big catalyst for like basically my YouTube channel, for my spiritual shop, for being finally open about the things that I could do and not being embarrassed or scared anymore. It just became like ridiculous all of a sudden. Like, why would I be like scared of something that I have always known to be like really natural, even though I was super scared when I was a kid? But that's mostly because everybody told me that's stuff you should be scared of. So it was this house, like the buying of this house, and then the passing of my dude's mom, who I was very close to, just I don't know, like something in me just boom, just like shifted. And so I love the Bugs Bunny reference. Yes, Albuquerque. And Richie said, how did you feel when you notice and talk to spirit? I guess that goes back as far as I can remember, and I can remember bits and pieces of about being 2 years old, mostly like 3, but yeah, that's like always been a part of me. And to me, that's like everybody, like spirit's around all the time. Some people tap into it or not, just based on like whether they're open to it, or how they feel about it, or their religious beliefs, or and to me it's just like a natural thing. It's just like breathing. It's just like getting goosebumps when you're cold. It's just like um smelling something and having a memory. Like, it's, to me, that's all like natural stuff. It's all part of being a human being. So like, I'm not like, yeah, I try not scaring people, but I always do love, a spooky, unexplained story, of course. But I always want people to remember that, if I were, well, one day I will be on the other side again. I don't want people to be scared of me. Maybe they could tell a spooky story about me and that's cool, but I don't want people to ever like fear me, because I'd be like, I'm just a person. I still think I am. um, Sherry Bug, I so want to get that spirit board you have. Still worried about using it by myself, and I'm strong enough to defend myself spiritually, or that you are. Oh, I was just thinking about that. Hold on. Before I came on the chat today, it's my enchanted spell board. I don't use it too often, but I don't really feel creeped out using it when I do, but because to me it's, I don't know, like the Ouija board has so much, I don't know, there's so many like stories and belief and stigma, and so many people think negatively, I think, of the Ouija board, and that, and since I believe that our thoughts carry energy, that I think that's why people feel so uncomfortable with something like that, because it does carry an energy, and it's the energy of how people feel about it. And that's what people, I think, pick up on when they think of like Ouija boards, or spell boards, or tarot cards, or whatever it may be, is because it's like years and years and years and years of people being, oh, that's scary, that's evil, it's the devil. And if you have thousands of years of energy put onto something esoteric as being creepy, you're bound to get some energy off of that. At least that's my belief on all of that, is, when people maybe pick up a deck of tarot cards, they're like, oh, I don't know, that's kind of creepy. And that's because I think that there's an energy, a thought energy surrounding them, and people pick up on that, of like the generations and generations of people that have always feared them, and that's kind of what you're picking up on. So is it the cards themselves that are actually creepy? Probably not, but I think it's always the energy that's surrounding these things that people, when we can't explain things, when we don't understand things, when things haven't been laid out in a nice, neat way for us, I think that it's scary. We always say we fear the unknown. When there's things that we don't understand, people right away want to just make it go away, because it freaks me out, because I don't understand. And hence we have all the things that have happened in history when is negative, what happens when people don't understand. So that is just my little 2 cents. Anyway. And Sherrybuck said, yes, that one. It's like the Casper of spirit boards. Yeah, it's like the friendly ghost. So anyway, yeah, so like I said, the only other time that, well, there's been a couple times now, but one other time that the candle, it was one candle went on in the house, was the day that my dude's mother passed away. We had my dude's brother and his sister-in-law staying over, because we were all going to go up to the hospital together and go see her before they left back for LA. And we got up in the morning, and his brother went downstairs, I went downstairs, and then I looked on the mantle, and I had a picture of my dude's mom on the mantle, and the candle that was behind her picture had turned on, and his brother was like, did you turn that candle on? And I was like, no. And I was like, hold on. I was like, let's get Brian down here. Could I do a 1-card reading today, please? Yes, I will try to do that for sure. And so right then I knew that, okay, his mom's going to be passing today. And I don't really know how all that works, but I feel like sometimes when, even before people have passed away, like their spirit's already like doing whatever it does. Like, I don't know. I don't really have an explanation for that. How it seemed like his mother was already like moving out and about, but like she really wasn't technically dead yet. She didn't die until about 4 p.m. that day, but it felt like in the morning we could already feel her spirit. She was in a medically induced coma, and she was on a crap load of morphine because they were just trying to make her feel really good as she like transitions, you know, so that she'd go peacefully in her sleep. Um, Loki's playing with his toy back there. It's a purring toy. I'm like, what the heck is? um, so yeah, I don't understand. When my dude's cousin passed away, I do remember his mother's spirit was in the room, asking me why I was crying. And I remember his cousin's spirit sitting up, but she couldn't get out of her body. So I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting to me. I don't really, I don't know. I can't explain that to you guys at all. I just know that sometimes people who aren't dead yet, their spirits are out and about like already. That's, I don't know. Callie said, question, my dog randomly barks when nobody's there. I believe it's a spirit, but don't feel any negativity by it. How would I figure out what it is? It's been going on for about 2 weeks now. You know, I always try to figure out, you know, like with animals, like especially our cats, sometimes they'll see things that I'm like, what are you looking at? And sometimes I think it's something that they hear outside that I can't hear, you know, because they got a lot better hearing than I do. And maybe it's stuff they can hear that I can't hear, that's moving around in our backyard. And they just happen to be looking in that general direction, you know, towards a wall, but maybe whatever it is on the other side of the wall outside. So I like to think of that. But I also think that sometimes I know when what they're looking at is a spirit, because then I feel the energy in the house change a little bit, not negatively sometimes, but so most of the time it's like I don't know, I just feel it's a little different. And so but it's usually fleeting. They'll usually like stare at something for a little bit, and then, you know, a minute later it's gone, and then I feel like whatever was there was gone. So, you know, what I would do to answer your question, if you're not really like feeling anything, but they keep barking in the same place, is maybe, I don't know, maybe pull a few cards, you know, if you want to, or maybe like do like a quick, like, you don't have to like get into like full meditation mode, but maybe do like a little standing meditation and just like see if any like images, feelings, thoughts pop up. If none do, maybe try your cards. If none do, then it's like maybe there is like something outside that they can hear, and they're like barking in that general direction. So I don't know. But I would try that, you know, try out your cards. Hold on, let me go back. Leeson said, I know how this feels to meet a dying person. It brought a kind of peace to me. It did. It makes me see dying in a different light. Instead of like somebody being ripped from me, I feel like the transition is a little less scary. Ruchi said, yeah, here in India, people say it's so hard when a person dies. It's hard for a spirit to come out of the body. I really feel it now. Manoj said, when I, oh, go to the Philippines for, that's for later. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna pull some cards for later, but I'm just kind of chit-chatting for right now. Lady Knight said, when my great-grandpa died, I couldn't breathe at that moment. He died because his lungs stopped working, but I didn't know that until later that night when my mom told me. I think he said goodbye. Oh, yep, you guys saw the Lokester hop by. Hey, Loki. Do you want to say hello to them? Do you want to say hello? Come here, Panther. Come here, Panther. You want to go play? Okay, go play. Go have fun. Go be a panther. So yes, the Lokester says hello. Yeah, I often feel that, you know, sometimes, you know, as spirit is leaving or transitioning or going wherever they go, sometimes they'll have us feel something just as a, like a, hey, I'm okay. Like, look, I'm leaving, and it's not scary. It's not sad, you know. So, oh Loki, everybody's saying how handsome you are. My big teddy bear, my big panther bear. Ruchi said, "Oh, she says she loves you so much." So, um, yeah, you know, after the passing of my dude's mom, I just I don't know. I still am very sad, you know, when people pass away. But I don't know. It's like two parts of me. It's like a weird dichotomy where I'm on one side so sad that I can't talk to that person physically, like on the phone or standing right in front of me. I can't go to them. And so, like, their presence in my life in that particular form is gone. And so that brings me a lot of sadness. That basically all I have left of them now is memories. However, there's the other side of me that can still see them, but in a different way. I still communicate with them, but it's just in a different way. And so, I don't know, it's like this weird thing that goes on in me where I'm like happy that they're not like gone, but the other side is like they're not here anymore. And so like the human side of me is really sad, you know. So but yeah, that's kind of like where the two halves of me are like always fighting with each other, like they're not actually gone. I was like, yeah, but they're gone from here and I'm so sad, you know. So it's like, yeah. Cherrybug, I think the body sometimes thinks it isn't ready when the spirit is. I think they hang until the body is finished. Yes. Manoj said, so spirit can travel without boundaries, so this can be taken to advantage when where science can reach spiritual science. You know, I think that one day, maybe not now, but in the future, you know how science has made so many advancements, how we've learned so many things where before it was just theories or things that were scary, like you know, the like atoms and cells and things that we can't see physically, like with our eyes, and without the aid of like microscopes and things like that, where that became like a whole nother world. And it was like, wow, you know, where before people thought that, you know, the cause of somebody's illness, you know, was because there was some sort of bad karma and they're being punished by God, and that's why now their child is sick, and or somehow, you know, the devil got a hold of them, and it's like always like a demon or a devil, and you know, and now people are like, oh, okay, well, when the when you're surrounding yourself in you know, back in, let's say, medieval times where cleanliness was not really like a thing, and there was like airborne illnesses and like disease and stuff running rampant, you know, and the people were wondering why people are getting sick, it's like maybe it's not like being punished by God, but maybe because you live in filth, you know. So but later on, science was able to prove that there were such things as, you know, viruses, and viruses attack, you know, cells, and this is how it, you know, works with our body. And I think one day, science is going to figure out spirit. Maybe not like everything, but they'd at least be able to prove that, hey, like ghosts, spirit isn't like a woo, like, you know, a scary thing. It just becomes a natural thing, because they're like, well, naturally, when the body dies, there is an energy within the body, and the body, you know, or the energy cannot go with the body, so therefore it's here, you know. And one day science is going to be able to like prove that stuff in like a way where it's like neither a religious point of view or any other sort of point of view. It's just like, and that's how it is. You know, and then people can take with that what they will, you know, their beliefs, and you know, attribute it to whatever science figures out. But I think science is going to figure out a lot of things that for right now people just see as like unexplainable and creepy and scary, and you know, it's the devil. You know, because we don't have any other explanation for it. And then one day, I don't know. I believe that give science enough time in the future, it's going to be able to put a big scientific spotlight on things that we were scared of. Let's see. Sherrybug, I lost my first patient on my third day as a nurse, and even just minutes after a person dies, it just doesn't feel like being with a person, really. Exactly. Like, after my boyfriend's mother passed away, and I felt her spirit leave. Like, it felt like a little gush of wind just went, you know, then all of a sudden what was left, it didn't even look like her anymore. It's so weird. I mean, I knew that was his mother laying there, but it's like it wasn't her anymore. And although I was crying my eyes out because I was gonna miss her, um, bawling actually, ugly cries, I was like, um, it just didn't look like her. It even looked like she was smaller. And, same thing with my aunt. I was there when she passed. I was there when my grandmother passed. I've been with a lot of people passing, and it always seems like it's not them anymore, and they always look smaller to me. I don't know why that is, but it looks like they're just, I don't know, because the life, which is your spirit, is gone, so. Minaj said CIA got info from a psychic woman where Saddam is, so someday it will be used openly. Yeah, I think, one day I think it's not going to be creepy anymore. It's not going to be this like sect of people that just like talks about things, behind closed doors. It's going to be an actual part of just our society. And actually, there are societies out there where spirit is just a part of them. There is a society in Indonesia where like death is a huge part of their culture. It's not really weddings and births. It's the day you die that they spend or they save up for a long time for that. And I think if you Google that, you'll find some interesting information about it's out in Indonesia, and I can't remember for the life of me the name of the place in Indonesia, but basically they call it like the death place or place of death, where everywhere you look is signs of death, but it's because they're not afraid of it. They embrace it, as the ultimate in transition and the ultimate in like almost like achieving nirvana. Like you've achieved death. That's wonderful, although they're not like in a hurry to die. But when you do and you've lived a nice long life, then they, it's interesting. Try a Google search about that. Let's see. Ruchi said last year my grandma passed, and I was there at the time that she passed away. I was feeling so uncomfortable and easy just thinking about her. And 30 minutes later, my brother called me, and she was no more. Yeah, I think we get those feelings. We could teach this in your spiritual school, Lisa. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, like I told you guys that once the opera and everything is done, which this is my last weekend, I am taking that very seriously. Like that is something I'm going to do. I am going to open some sort of magical spiritual school, and I have to work on like a mission statement. I have to work on like what kind of classes would I have. There's a lot for me to figure out. There's also like tax information to figure out, and like how do you put something online, and how do you make it interactive so that like students can interact with each other. And yeah, so I have a lot of technical stuff as well as the fun magical stuff to figure out, but that's something I know I need to do. Like never have I felt so like purpose driven in my life of like that's what I need to do. So I will be working on it. Know that it's going to take a while, so it's probably be like a year or two in the making. But I don't want to rush something that I want it to be exactly the way I feel it should, like where everything is just as it should, and it's like, yes, now we're ready to open the digital doors of the school. So yes, I'm going to be working on that. It's not like it's something that's going to happen in the next couple of months. It's going to take a while, but it's because there's a lot of logistics to figure out, and I want to make sure that everything runs smoothly and that everybody who ends up joining has a wonderful experience. The only thing I do know for sure, as like needs to be a part of that school, is I want to make sure that everybody takes courses there in the school, that the ultimate like project or final project that they do is somehow giving back to humanity or giving back to the world in some way by creating something that does good for plants or animals or people or whatever it is, but making a positive contribution to society, something that is not just like a one-time thing, but will continue to be a positive contribution to society with the new knowledge that you have or the things that you've learned. If you learn to read tarot cards, how are you going to make that a positive contribution to society? What are you going to do to help others? So I want to, that's good. That's my main focus, is I want it to be worldly driven, which I guess was the focus of my oracle deck, or it needs to encompass the world and everybody. That's my mission for my schools. I want it not to just be for personal growth, but I want your personal growth to outwardly help everybody else, and so it's that kind of ripple effect. I'm hoping every graduate, goes out and does good for others, and then maybe those others do good for others, and I feel it's gonna create this like effect of and I know there's other spiritual schools out there, and there's so many other people out there doing so many good things, and I think if just all of that being pumped into the world, light wins like all the time. So not that there isn't always shadow. We can't have shadow without light. This is true. But I also don't believe that the shadow can ever overcome the light. So just a little FYI. That should be part of my mission statement. Okay, let me go back and see what you guys said. Lady Knight suggests bureaucracy can be a pain in the buttocks, faux show. Try to make it like a platform that creates Harry Potter in real life. Yes. Ruchi said, not only your dreams, but ours too. Really want to see shining and grooming the young souls. And education goes to the right spirit. Yes. Oh, Two Paths is here. Two Paths Tarot. I was with my dad at the end and asked him to let me know he arrived when he was going, and he was okay, and he did a couple of months later, and all he said, "I'm okay, sweetheart, I'm okay." That is beautiful. And I think that, sometimes when we ask people who have passed or are going to pass, like, give me a little sign that you're okay, they do. And ooh, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys one more story, and then how many people do we have in here? We have 14. We could pick a card. Remember, I don't want to be on too long today because I got the opera later today at 7. Okay, quick, another story, and then I will pull some cards for you guys, and then we'll do a little healing because I don't want to talk too much. Okay, so after my dude's mother passed, like, he always had kind of like a weird relationship with his mom, where he both was very upset with how she treated him sometimes, like, because she was very open about loving her oldest son and doing everything in the world for her youngest son, but it's the middle son, which is my dude, that she was like, you could do it yourself, like, you don't need my help, or anything those two ever did. And it was weird because she would remember things like weird, like differently, like in front of me, like where I knew the truth, and like it would be like anything bad those two did, she automatically assumed was the middle child, even though her brain would make it so that her memory always remembers the middle child doing everything bad and everything wrong, and and so everything that was wrong was always the middle child's fault. And she was very open about that. She would always say, you did, but at the same time, she loved spending time with him. And she would always tell me that even though she considered him to be the most trouble, because she loved to coddle and take care of the two other boys, whereas my boyfriend hates being coddled and taken care of, which I think is why there was so much tension. Like, he's Mr. Independent, she's Miss Independent, like he's basically his mom. And the other two are very helpless, and they're always like, "Mom, like, help me, like, take care of me." We always want you to shine. Oh, thanks, Ruchi. Oh, hey, Wally. Loki was here earlier. Let's see, Lady Knight, I also fit in quite interesting how where you get message from crossover people. I got a message from my grandma that she is okay at a Mormon church service, and I'm not even Mormon. That is so interesting. Definitely. yeah, I mean, hey, it comes from wherever. But so anyway, he loves his mom, yes, but it was just such a strained relationship. Like he always had to be the one to kind of make sure that their relationship continued to run smoothly, because she was very my way or the highway, and very this is how it's going to be, and I'm going to rewrite history, and if this is how I say things happened, and then that's how it happened. You know, she liked to rewrite the way things actually happened to make it fit her storyline that she had going on in her head. It was so weird. Which would irk me, you know, sometimes. But, you know, but then there was the other part of her where she was really like, just, I mean, she was a really good person, you know, she was really sweet and all of that. And so, my mom's like that. So when, after she passed away, my dude was having a hard time. You know, he would have all these memories of basically like being crapped on by his mom. It says, I got a message last week at the apple orchard. Oh my God, you have a story time for us. Okay, so let me finish up, and then Sherry Bug, you need to catch us up on that, girl. Okay, so, okay, quickly then. So my boyfriend was having like some like, oh my gosh, you know, like I miss my mom, but also like, why did she always have to crap on me? There's so many unanswered questions. Like, why was she always like hardest on me and always like the meanest to me, and blah, blah, blah. And we decided to go down into OB, which is, you know, like keep OB weird, you know, Ocean Beach. We're down in Ocean Beach, and we went into this little rock store that I'd never been in before. And I went to go see some rocks and some stones, and the dude came with me. And the woman behind the counter, it was just her behind the counter, us, and basically she was closing up the store, so she had already locked the front door. So we're basically locked in the store with this lady. And as she's ringing up the stones, she's like, are you guys into the metaphysical? Cosmic Creeper, hey! Oh my gosh, my girl is here, and Wally's here. Wally? Oh, oh, say hello. Oh, Puma. Oh, baby. You know, it's going to be hard to do a live chat this way. Anyway, the woman's like, are you into the metaphysical? She says, hey, Puma. You going to go take off, Puma? And we're like, yeah, I guess so. And she's like, okay. And she starts, Wally, what the heck are you doing? Wally. So that's my Puma. So she's like, so your mother's passed away. And the dude's like what? Like my girlfriend's just buying some stones. And she's like, so anyway, you're the middle child of 3 children. And and he's like, you know, like the dude is so like down to earth. And so he's like eyes twitching, like he doesn't know where this woman's coming up with this information. Cosmic Jones said, I did some spirit communication for a friend last week, and it was mind-blowing. We talked about contacting a person from her life the day before, and that person woke me up the next morning. Oh my God! Dude, we need to have like one of those like, oh, we have to have another Halloween live chat someday, for sure. Like this Halloween. So anyway, she starts going off with all this information that like we didn't know this woman for an atom. Like, you know, like she like was saying all this information about the dude and his mother, and she even started taking on her cadence, like the way she talks. She started talking like her, and then all of a sudden she started doing these big yawns. She was like oh, we're like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, his mother's spirit keeps jumping into my body, and she's trying to get into my heart chakra and my throat chakra. And I'm like, lady, I don't even know you. And we're like, and I was like, your mother's totally possessing the store clerk. And he's like, okay. And so she's like talking about his mother's life review and how she refuses to acknowledge certain things in her life. And so because she won't talk to any of the angels, they're like, will you talk to this angel? No. Will you talk to this angel? No. Will you talk to this person? No. Because she refuses to go back into her life review. Which sounds like his mother. When she doesn't want to hear the truth, she will walk away. when it's like, nope, 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 that's not how I want to hear it. And so she's not going, it's like, do you want to hear Archangel Michael? No. Like, do you want to hear Archangel Raphael? No. And so, so then they said, would it make you happy? Yeah, oh crap, get out, lady. Would it make you happy to talk to God? Because she was Catholic. And so she wants to see movie God. And so they said they basically had to present her with how she sees God as movie God, with the whole like doves and light and, whatever, Morgan Freeman, like, walking from the steps, or, so she sees movie God. And they said, would you talk to movie God? Maybe. And so, okay. So the woman's like, okay, your mother is talking to movie God right now. And he's having a little sit down with her, telling her that basically you're not allowed to ditch your life review. Like, you have to actually go back and do it. And they're bringing in reinforcements. The lady's like, so something tragic happened when she was 5 years old. Who died? And my boyfriend's like, her grandmother. And she says, okay, because they're bringing in a grandmother and a grandfather to come like talk to her and coerce her into going back into her life review. So they're bringing in all the people that have the biggest impact on her and will make her like do what she needs to do. So grandma and grandpa have showed up, and she basically has turned herself into a 5-year-old again because she misses them. And so she's like, okay, your mother's going back into the life review. It's probably going to take a couple of weeks. All the way you explained full on. So we're like, okay. And then that was it. She just like continued ringing up my stone. She's like, okay, that'll be, whatever it cost. Angel Rivera, oh, hey, this is laughing at the movie God idea. And the lady in some way sounds like my mom-in-law, some way, her own vision of reality. And that's it. Yes. And so basically, we kept having like occurrences at the house. Like his mom, we could feel her in the house, and she kept popping up like wherever like she felt like, and she was like always had some input. And I was like, dude, it's not like your mother has changed in spirit. Like, she's still complaining about everything. But after that 2 weeks was up, when the lady said basically her life review was up and then she was going to move on to whatever was next, after a couple of weeks, his mom's spirit kind of faded away. And she comes in from time to time, but it wasn't like full on where she's like still able to manipulate things in this environment. Like, she doesn't do that anymore. And she seems a lot less my way or the highway, and no more of like making things up. Like, it's like her spirit's all love and light now, which is like kind of weird. So yeah, but that really helped my boyfriend. So it's like when you guys said, you all had your, stories of like spirit coming in, to give you messages, and like it just helps you feel better. That actually helped my boyfriend feel better, because here you have this woman, Young, hey, who doesn't know us, who's never met us. I've never been in that store before, spouting off all these things about him and his mother. And some of the things she said was just, it got him thinking about things a little differently. And I could tell he felt more at peace with his mother's passing, because of like his mom possessing a store clerk. Like, that's what she had to do to help him feel a little more at peace. So does he still talk about like some things jokingly, and like, talking about how she used to crap on him? Like, of course he still does, but he no longer, I think, is doing the mourning that he used to. So yeah. Okay, so that was my story. And Sherry Bug, you need to tell us what happened at the apple orchard, because last week, filling you guys in who maybe weren't here, or maybe you didn't see the video from last week, but I was showing off cards, decks I'm going to be using for October, or like this season, and all of a sudden I felt like spirit was here. It was like kind of weird. Started pulling cards, ended up that it was connecting to Sherry Bug, and that's Loki knocking over water bottles. Anyway, and then she said that basically she was going off to this apple orchard, which was also kind of in the reading, even though we knew she was already going off to that place, and it was like something was going to happen or not. So what happened? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, my knee. Wally, you nicked me. Okay, so I'll just wait for Sherry Bug. Okay, so everybody's waiting. Cosmic is waiting. Ruchi. Excuse me. Okay, I have a drinking problem. Sherry Bug said, so after the message from Spirit that happened yesterday and the ambulance going past during all that, I went ahead and went to the orchard like I said. Ooh. um, Minaj just gotta wait. We want to hear Sherry Bug's story, and then we'll quickly pull some cards. Yang said, I just seen in some video about burning bay leaf. Is there anything special or magical about it? Um, yeah, a lot of people just attribute it to like a leaf for wishes. Like people write wishes on it and then they burn the leaf and it's supposed to, like, you know, wishes go into the air. But I don't want to interrupt Sherry Bug. So Sherry Bug said, I walked in and saw all these pictures of firemen all across their wall. That's interesting. Keep going. um, and you know, I have been worried about going back to work with my arm injury. Yes. Oh yeah. I think you're gonna be okay. Loki's taking a bath for you guys, by the way. Sherry Bug keeping us in suspense. But that is quite a coincidence to have the, you know, hear all the ambulances and then there's all the pictures of firemen and stuff all over their walls at the apple orchard, and like to have all this like activity, you know, and then having the being worried about, you know, going back to work. Sherry Bug said, I got this just like a gush of knowledge. It was like they all said, you got this all at once. That's awesome. So yeah, it was so interesting last Saturday, you guys, because um and there one of the cards on the back of the cards was like part of a Ouija board, and the letters that it was basically an acronym that they have for EMTs. So it like had all this stuff to do with like being an EMT and like medical and everything. And then while I was doing that reading, she kept hearing like ambulances, and she thought, or we thought, like, does that mean like something's going to happen to somebody at the apple orchard, or, you know, something like that. So that's very interesting that it wasn't about something happening to someone, but it was more like, you know, okay, EMT stuff, ambulances, firemen, like this is your field, you know. And yeah, and then now she got that knowledge that she's got this. So that was quite a message for you. But I know that you needed a big message like that because you've been so worried about your arm and going back to work and all of that. Sherry Bug said, they totally were all telling me that when I go back I would be fine, and I know that things will be fine with going back as an EMT. So yeah, you know, and I felt that too, but I think for you, personally getting all those messages and like, you know, basically spirit shouting at you that you got this, girl. No worries, you know, and it being in a language that you understand. And I think that's most important. You know, when we get messages, it's always in a language we understand. You know, so you know, those of us that aren't in the medical field or aren't EMTs or aren't, you know, don't deal with that, we probably wouldn't understand that message. You know, we would see all that stuff and be like, okay, you know, but because, you know, so I think that's, you know, whenever we get messages from spirit, our loved ones, or maybe it's just spirit guides telling us you got this, it's always in our language, you know. So we all speak a different spirit language, you know, and nothing to do with the actual language we speak of our country of origin, but I think our spirits all talk in a different language. So the symbols and things we see, come to us in different ways. It totally opened my eyes. That is so freaking awesome. Okay, so wow, that is awesome. Okay, um, this will be okay. There's 17 people. I don't think I can do 17 readings because I already feel like my voice is getting a little tired. I don't really want it to be too tired because at 7 o'clock, I know 7 o'clock's a long ways away, but I still have an opera to sing and I still, you know, is there any specific time or day to do it? Burning bay leaves to make a wish? In my opinion, no, but everybody's practice is their own. I did a money spell, sort of more like an abundance spell. It really wasn't like just for money, but just abundance of like good things, positivity. And I wrote out my intentions on a bay leaf and I burned it at, I don't know, it was like 5 p.m., 5 or 6 p.m. I don't think the time of day really matters. But you know, some people have different practices. Some people like must do things by the light of this moon or the sun, or you know, because people work with different energies. So, and Sherry Bug said yes, opera tonight. So let's do the first 8 people. I think 8 I can manage. I was gonna go 10, but I think that's actually gonna be a lot. So it's not that I'm dissing you guys. But instead of like asking a question, I think I just want to do like a general reading for you guys. So just the first 8 people just say yes or me or whatever. And so remember, I'm not playing favorites. I'm not trying to diss people, but I really do need this like tonight. So so it's not me being mean to anybody at all. So I hope you guys know that. And I will, of course, do a healing for everybody at the end. That's always my thing to you guys. Okay, so like I said, first 8 people, and it'll just be a general 1-card pull because I always feel that we may have certain questions in mind, but Spirit's like, no, you got to hear this right now. Angel said, you can skip me. There will be a next time. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I want to use I'm going to use, I'm going to combine cards. But I'm going to use the Witch's Wisdom Oracle, which is a new deck for me. And of course, you guys know this has been like my fave deck, the Witch's Kitchen. You guys remember when we did a little cooking in the kitchen with this one during one of our live chats? That was so much fun. So I'm going to put them together to get the reading for those 8 people. So Sherry Bug, if you don't mind, girl, like copying down the names of the first 8 people that said, here, yay, yes, please. So remember, if I don't get to you, let's try to get to you guys next week. And, oh, thanks, Sherry Bug. And yeah, so again, not dissing people, not trying to hate on people, but homegirl has to use her vocal cords later today. Okay. So I'm just gonna get settled here. I am so pale right now. This is the palest live chat ever. Okay, just getting those nice and shuffled. Okay, Manoj, then Callie. All right, you got it. So Manoj, okay. Well, I guess that card is yours. And then I want to pair it with the Witch's Wisdom. Oh, wow. These cards just kept flying out. All right, Manoj, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Lisa, I don't know. Sherry Bug is the one keeping our list for us right now. But remember, if I don't get to you, then, you know, next week, faux show, when I can talk more. Okay. Okay, so usually I like to see if I hear anything, if I feel anything, I see anything in my mind's eye before I actually dive into the cards. Okay, Manoj, I don't know how this ties in, but I saw the in my mind the opening song for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I don't even know if you know Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was like a song back in, or I mean, like a TV show back in the early 90s. Like, I don't know how this relates to anything, but let's see. Okay, so we have chocolate aphrodisiac and Beltane fertility. That's interesting, Manoj. Let's see. Okay, aphrodisiac, fertility, and then you get the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Wow. Okay, I kind of feel like you're trying to sweeten the deal on something. So I don't know if this is like to me at first it was like maybe this is relationship related, but it's more like trying to sweeten the deal. Like there's something that you want, and it's like you're trying to be, yeah, that's where that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is coming in. It's like that, like trying to like sweet talk or smooth talk your way into something. So this is not like, I don't think someone, I'm waiting for mass social work in the United Nations. Oh, all right. Well then, okay, so that definitely makes sense then. So yeah, if you're trying to get into something, I think that it's like you're trying to like suavely, like make your way in, like, hey, like you need me. um okay. So the message then is, because then that's definitely the thing that they want you to know, that this is like this is the topic. Well, with Beltane, with this one here, this is your dream for the last 7 years. Oh my gosh. And sevens always have, to me, a lucky number. Beltane has come up quite a bit for me today. So I think that you being the first reading, this is kind of connecting to you. Beltane is all about like spring, like the maypole, like newness. And so yeah, here we have like this is, they started talking the last 20 days. That's okay. I feel like things are going in your favor. That doesn't mean don't stop, the suaveness and the whatever that you've been doing, trying to get your way into the United Nations, because obviously this is your dream. So even though the reading is saying that this is going more into your favor, it means also don't stop doing what you're doing. Like you are on the right path, and you're doing all of the things to make them see that you are the best fit for this, that you should be in this. So even though this is confirmation of like, yes, like this is more than likely going to be your dream come true, don't stop that stuff though. Don't be like, okay, cool, I got this. You know how people let off the gas and then it's like they got this. And so I'm seeing like, don't stop pushing, don't stop trying, don't stop sweet talking, sweetening the deal, trying to get your way in, schmoozing, making contacts, which is kind of like all of this aphrodisiac, wooing them with your job skills and, your personality, what you can do. Don't stop that. It's going to continue to take a lot of hard work, which is, kind of like with the aphrodisiac, just like we're trying to woo a person, that takes a lot of hard work and a lot of time and energy. So this is confirmation that if you continue doing what you're doing and working your butt off and schmoozing your butt off, then I kind of I see this positively working in your favor. Okay, but don't let off that gas. Okay, keep your foot on the pedal to the metal. I'm working parallel. Yes, I am making us in America work together. That is freaking awesome. Yes. Okay, so that was Manoj, and thank you so much for letting me read for you. Okay, and so yes, just as a reminder to everybody, I just had a list of 8 people today, because I have to. This is the last weekend of my opera, and I need to sing later. Doo -doo -doo. Let me go back. Cosmic says I have to run, but want to say knock 'em dead tonight. Thank you so much. Yeah, I always love the evening performances, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. Okay. So yeah, so that's usually I would always read for all of you guys, like, you know, that's my thing. But yeah, because I have another job later today and I do have to sing and I do have to have a big voice. So that's why I've kept it to 8. Not because I'm trying to diss my homies, you know, I always have love for all of you guys. But I'm doing my healing at the end. Okay, so I think you said Callie was next, Sherry Bug. Hold on, get these. Callie, okay, got it. All right, Callie. You know what's coming to my mind while I'm shuffling the cards, Callie, is a few of my favorite things. I believe that's Mary Poppins. When is my next program, for singing or for here? Because singing, we're singing again tomorrow, and then that's it. That's the end of our Romeo and Juliet. But I for YouTube, I'm here every Saturday at roughly 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, if you're asking about our live chats. Jacqueline, hey, it says howdy. I made it. How are you? I am doing good. Okay, so Callie, I was getting the, I think that's Mary Poppins. These are a few of my favorite things. I was thinking like whiskers on kittens and puppies and mostly puppies. I'm like thinking puppies. So I don't know how this connects to whatever card I'm gonna pull, but we'll see. Okay, there's card 1. So Callie, I'm thinking Mary Poppins, puppies, and a few of my favorite things. There's your card. Okay. Oh, Sound of Music. Okay, okay, it's got the same singer. I get Mary Poppins and Sound of Music all mixed up. Okay, because it's you have your same beautiful singer. Kitsune says, I love that song. Okay, so Callie. Okay, interesting. Callie, we have St. John's Wort and St. John's Wort. I can't even talk and enunciate. My apologies. We have Dispirited. Yes, love Julie Andrews. She's so beautiful. And her voice. Oh! And then we have Ritual Invocation. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, so how that connects to Sound of Music. A few of my favorite things. You know, and to me, when I hear that song, it's always like things are kind of creepy. And then Julie Andrews' character starts singing, and she starts singing the song, a few of my favorite things. And all of a sudden, it's not so scary outside anymore. And the song is so sweet and happy. And then we have the card, you know, obviously Dispirited and then Invocation. I'm feeling like something just feels very down right now. Like something is scary or kind of bringing your energy down, feeling disheartened in some way. And it's like this song of like remembering your favorite things. If you start to think on the things that you love to do, your favorite things, you'll start to invoke an energy that's less somber, less downtrodden. I just keep feeling like a heaviness, like there's some sort of heaviness around you, like a sadness that doesn't mean that you're sad all the time, but like something that you might carry in here. And it may weigh you down in some way, like certain areas of your life. And so in order not to ignore the sadness. Obviously, we always have to honor all of our feelings. But in order to alleviate that sadness and bring it to surface so it can finally be released, because things aren't meant to stay stagnant. Neither our happiness nor our sadness is ever meant to be stagnant. Everything's meant to kind of move and shift like the wheel. But to get it to move and shift as it should is to start going back into things that you love to do that bring you joy, hanging with the people that bring you joy, and not people just because it's like, well, that's like my family or that person's always been my best friend, but people who genuinely make you feel good about yourself and you make them feel good about themselves. So it's like a two-way street. So I just keep getting that whatever is being carried in here that may be affecting different areas of your life, in order to get the energy of your emotions to move and shift in your body, is to focus on the things that bring you the most joy. And I know that, for me, my kittens bring me joy, and there are many other things. And it doesn't mean I should like quit my job and just become full-time cat mom, although that would be awesome. But for me, it would be then spending more time with them, playing with them, bringing out their toys, watching. Bringing them joy would bring me joy. So it's kind of like the same thing for you. So your favorite things, maybe make a list. What are your favorite things? What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? That's just a message that Spirit has for you right now, is really finding your joy is what they want you to do. So I don't know how that connects, but you know. Okay, so that was for Callie. And Callie, I hope that makes sense to you. I never know what the messages are that are coming through, and sometimes it's messages where we're like, wait, what? Because we had something totally else on our mind, but that's just kind of what they feel sometimes. Okay, Sherry Bug, who was next? Ooh, I'm running low on tea. This is my only Halloween mug. I need like a bigger mug. You guys know I like big mugs. Kitsune. Thank you. It makes sense. Oh, good. I'm very happy. Okay, so Kitsune. Let's see. Okay, Kitsune, you know what's really funny? I started thinking of pink donuts, and I started thinking of Homer Simpson. Amanda. Okay, Amanda. I'm sorry, I didn't know if I was pronouncing your screen name right. Is it Kitsune? Kitsune? So Amanda. Oh, I have a cousin named Amanda and a bestie named Amanda. Jacqueline said, needed your beautiful energy today. Thank you for sharing with us. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. Make my day. Sherry Bug, my dog is laying on my list right now. That is... Snow, you pronounced it correctly. Okay, cool. Amanda. So, I was seeing like in my mind like pink donuts and then like Homer Simpson and then like the Simpsons. So we'll see how the Simpsons and Homer Simpson and his pink donut like translate into this reading. I always get the weirdest messages, but they end up making sense, but just like in a really far out kind of way. Okay. Oh. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of like the Japanese fox. Yes. Okay. Watch how I make this like Simpsons connection. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, we have the lady, goddess, we have the feminine, and then we have soothe, aloe vera. Okay, so if you're familiar with the Simpsons, Homer Simpson has this affinity for donuts, especially the pink donut. Like he loves donuts. It's a way that he basically soothes himself. He feels better after eating donuts. It's like, okay, we equate donuts with Homer Simpson. So I'm feeling for you to indulge in something that maybe maybe not like Homer Simpson, where he would rather indulge in donuts like 3 times a day, every day, and more if he could. Um, but what is your indulgence? And I feel like you haven't taken maybe enough time to do that indulgence, that thing that you love to do, you love to eat, you love to, a place you love to go. Because, I mean, we're human beings, we get busy, life gets in the way, we have stuff to do, we have our responsibilities, of course. But I think now is a really good time for you to make a little time for your indulgence, because it's just kind of what your body and your soul needs right now. And if your indulgence is a pink donut and that brings you like happiness, because you don't get a pink donut every once in a while, like, girl, then you need a pink donut. For me, something I don't get all the time is my boyfriend's fried rice. Like, he makes the best fried rice. And I call her my Chinese mom, my acupuncturist, who is like my adopted mom. When she eats his fried rice, she swears it's like her mother's rice from Taiwan. She's like, how do I know you're not like part Chinese? Like, how do you make this? Like, it's amazing. It is so delicious, but it's really time consuming for him to make. So when I have it, like, my soul is just like, oh, it's so good. And it's an indulgence that makes me happy. So I'm asking you, what is your indulgence? What just makes you feel so good? Maybe it's a food. Maybe it's doing I don't know, dropping a hundo and like going to the spa and just going crazy, of like, get your nails did, your hair did, cucumber slices, do the whole thing. you know, but it's just something you really need right now, because yes, we do have our responsibilities, and yes, we have our people stuff that we have to do, but if we don't like, don't like pay ourselves, and it doesn't necessarily mean money, pay ourselves, but if we don't pay ourselves in a certain way, like, things get a little heavy. um this speaks to me so much. I love going to the mall. I instantly thought of it. Well, then go to the mall. I mean, we don't always get to go to the mall every day and go like, I always think of Cher from Clueless with like her bags on her arms. Like, that's to me like fun when we can do that once in a while, because it's like kind of cool. But if you don't get to do that all the time, and that's something you love to do, then I'm saying go to the mall. It's what this girl needs right now. You, homegirl, body. It's just a little outlet, and a little mental break, and a little physical break from maybe things you've been doing as of late, which is not a bad thing, but sometimes we need a break. So your whole message with Homer Simpson and the pink donuts is to go to the mall. Go to the mall, girl. That was an interesting reading. All right, Sherry Bug, who do we have next? You are very welcome. I have to run. Thanks for the readings. See you all next week. All right, Callie, I hope you have a great weekend. I'm gonna sing my heart out for you guys. I think Sherry Bug might be trying to get the list out from underneath her dog. Lady Night's next. Okay. All right, Lady Night. Okay, Lady Night. I love how these two decks read together. Me too. I'm so happy I got the Witch's Wisdom. I think they go well together. Okay, Lady Night. I always try to like, yeah, the art is really nice. I like it. Okay, Lady Night. My ears both plugged up. I got pretty dizzy, probably because my ears plugged up, so it's like messing with my equilibrium. And I heard, I don't know if you know the group The Misfits. Misfits was like 80s, early 90s. And there's a song they have called Dig Up Her Bones. That's like the song that I'm hearing. Is I like a couple of Misfits songs. Like, so yeah, okay, The Misfits is playing in my head. My ears are plugged up, a little dizzy. Dig Up Her Bones. Let's see how that connects. Dig Up Her Bones. That's interesting. Have to Google it. Okay, yeah, you go Google it. Misfits, Dig Up Her Bones. I think it's a fun song. Do 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 do. Interesting, interesting. Whew. getting a little goosebumpy. Chalice, we have fulfillment. We have nettle, we have caution. Okay, I think I kind of get what's going on. Okay, so I think the plugging up of my ears is more the caution, just exercising caution in who might be coming into your life right now, which is that song "Dig Up Her Bones," like almost like something being dug up from the past. People coming into your life again, or if they're not already back, and it's fulfilling a part. You know, and sometimes we have unanswered questions. Maybe it is somebody from the past, but it could be somebody that you've just met, but it like fulfills, I don't know, questions that you may have had about something. And I'm not saying these are like big worldly questions, but it could be questions just about like, that you've been a little confused about in career or family or home life or whatever it may be. But I just feel like there's somebody coming in, or somebody has already come in, that you just need to be a little more cautious about. It's okay to get the information that you needed from them, because like maybe you needed that from your soul or whatever was needed from that that experience. You know, it's the experience of meeting the person again and having the talk or whatever. But then after that, I'm just kind of seeing to just exercise a little caution about fully letting in these people. I don't know. Maybe I just don't trust these people all that much. So just, yeah, just, you know, as you meet new people come in, or old people from the past come back in, you know, just exercise a little bit of caution about who you fully let into your network, you know. Okay, so let me look at what you guys were saying. Jacqueline said, "Whoa, that's my song with my partner. I grow nettle and drink it 4 times a day for inflammation from rheumatoid disease." Whoa. And you know what I love about these readings too is that other people get connections with them. And I think that, like, what better way for spirit to communicate than multiple people understanding a reading? So, that is a very odd coincidence. I will keep that in mind and look up the song, definitely. So maybe even give the song a listen, maybe look up the lyrics, but just, you know, and this isn't like, you know, some stranger coming to your door, but just like as you meet people through your social circle, through work, through wherever, these people may be fulfilling, you know, some questions you have, but then after that, like, I just keep feeling like they become like leeches. Like, just be careful of the leeches and the soul suckers is all I'm saying. Okay. After Lady Knights, thank you, Lady Knight, for allowing me to read for you. Who do we have next? Oh, Kawaii Chibi! That is such a cute name. Kawaii Chibi. Okay, let's see. Okay, Kawaii Chibi, what popped up in my mind was like old school, like Nikes. You know, like Nike tennis shoes with the swoosh from like the 70s. Interesting. But it could also mean Nike the goddess. So we'll see. Nikes. That's interesting, Kawaii Chibi. Okay, we'll see how Nikes play into your reading. Okay. Okay, alrighty then. We have spell, manifestation, and we have onion, tears. Okay, and what is the motto for Nike? Just do it. So that's where that came in. Okay, so I am feeling, I almost like want to cry because I'm seeing an onion here. But I'm just feeling like being extremely frustrated, wanting to be somewhere or not getting something that you want so desperately and it hasn't come yet. thus causing the tears, the sadness of like, you know, why can't I just have this, or why can't I be there? Um, and I think you already know the path to get what you want and to get where you need to go. And oftentimes we always do, but that path may look a little long and a little difficult. So we usually look away from it because it's like, okay, I see that path, but gosh, isn't there anything that's just like shorter and easier for me to get to my dreams and the things that I want to accomplish or do or have or obtain or whatever? Like, isn't there anything else? And thus the tears and the agony. And here I'm saying that you already know how to get what it is that you want. And you may be like, no, I don't. Well, I think you've been putting, like, not really acknowledging that you actually do. You do. You know how to get where you want to go and you know how to get what you want. But I think you also know that it's a long journey and it's a difficult journey. But if that's something that you truly want and you've been crying for it, you know, over here, then you're gonna have to just do it. You're gonna do like the Nike company says and just do it in order to manifest what you really want. So I'm not seeing that what you're wanting is going to be a quick manifestation or that there's any easy road. And I have a quote up in my classroom. This is nothing worth having or any place worth going was ever easy or ever an easy road. So yours is not the easy road. It is, and neither is it the short road, but it is the road to the things that you want and in your dream, basically. So if you, and you know this already, so this is just confirmation. So yes, through all the tears and all the struggle, and yes, it's probably going to continue to be a struggle, but in the end, you get to manifest what it is that you want. And hopefully that is ultimately what you want. So that is the message from Spirit. Just do it, like Nike says. What we obtain too cheaply, we esteem too lightly. Thomas Paine. Thank you, Jacqueline, for bringing in a bit of poetry. Thomas Paine, yes. And I do have a lot of poets around my classroom. Of course, I'm an English teacher. So hopefully that makes sense to you, Kawaii Chibi. Wow, that was like an easy read. You know, sometimes people like the messages are so it's like, wow, that was easy. Okay, so yes, and thank you, Kawaii Chibi, for allowing me to read for you. And who do we have next? I'm gonna hold on to my little, this is my little nephrite jade heart. Let's see, I read for 1, 2, 3, I think 4 people already. Yvette Lasoya. Okay, Yvette, let's goes. Okay, Yvette. Yvette, there is some spirit energy going on here. I have a very grandmotherly energy with me right now. Could be great grandma. I don't know. Yvette is number 6. Oh wow, did I already read for this is like 6th person? Wow. Go me. Okay. Okay, Yvette. I like this. I love the energy of the person that came in that's connected to you. I don't know if this is a spirit guide or actually like a grandmother, but I am feeling grandma vibes. Cosmic Creeper said, I have to go, lovely, but I have a fabulous time this evening. Bye, everyone. Bye, Cosmic Creeper. Girl, you take care of yourself. Loki is sleeping, but you know, he loves you too. And Wally is probably asleep on his hammock, but you know, he loves you too. Give all our love to Zuri and all your menagerie of pets and your little like scaly babies and snaily babies and all your babies. So yes, send them my love. Okay. So, sorry, let me go back. Yvette, with that grandmotherly energy that came in, I got Watchtower of the South with Summer. And right away I was like, ooh, I thought of like spending summer with my grandma. So I don't know if that's something that you used to do or still do. Supportive Tara. Oh my God, it's Lisa. So I don't know if that's something you still do or used to do, is also spend summers with your grandma or grandparents, because that's something I used to do. Thanks, Sherry Bug. And then we have honey ambrosia. Um, and I know that my favorite memories with my grandmother is, although she wasn't the best of cooks, like she still loved to play in the kitchen. Sorry, Grandma, I know that you're just cooking. It wasn't that great. But that doesn't mean I didn't love cooking with my grandma in the kitchen and baking with my grandma in the kitchen. And to me, it was like that, and that's the ambrosia. And so to me, that's like for you, like similar, I'm saying, where I don't know if you also did something like that, where you baked or cooked or did something with your grandma, but I'm feeling like in order to bring back that nostalgia and to maybe have the warm fuzzies, because maybe you need some warm fuzzies right now. I don't know what's going on in your life, but maybe you just need that like warm, like maternal, grandmotherly like hug of like, let's bake something together, sweetie. You know, that I feel like it would behoove you to whip something up in the kitchen today. Even if you're not the best of bakers or the best of cooks, like who cares? You probably don't even have to like feed this food to anybody. Go feed it to a tree, maybe, like leave it as an offering for the fae. I don't know. But I think that just the mixing of ingredients and the putting stuff together is just kind of what you need right now. That is the hug and the love that you need, is you physically creating something